Did you know it's been over a year since we've done any work to our Healey 104? It's also been 11 months since the car went away for bodywork. It's been a very long wait, but today that wait is finally over. Let's go and take a look. Now then guys, welcome back. Now before we get into the section of video that we're all dying to see, let's quickly talk about what's happened to the car in the last 11-12 months. Now, back in November 19, the car went away, and it went first of all to Dan Howells Classics. Now we had a couple of main issues with the car after our first test drive. We'd gone round the lane a couple of times and the brakes were locking on, and also we had a chirping noise when we lifted up the clutch, and the car, I believe at one point, fell out of first gear. Now, when the car went to Dan Howells Classics, we gave them a bit of a brief, and the brief was, please fix the brakes, they stick on all the time, please look at the gearbox, and also go through the car with a fine-tooth comb and fettle it. Now we'll talk a little bit more about the third point, the fettling and the refining and the tuning side of things, later on in the video. But first of all, let's talk about the chirping noise. Now, the main issue there was alignment. Just to recap, we have the original 4-speed 104 engine, which is mated to a 4-speed BN2 gearbox, and in between that we've got a 106 Bellhousing, so we can have a hydraulic clutch, and in between the Bellhousing and the engine we have an adapter plate. Now the adapter plate was new, it came with the car, but it was bought many years ago, and it turns out from the research I've done, the adapter plates weren't very well made and they cause alignment issues. Now just in the couple of times that we went around the block, it caused enough issues and problems to damage the gearbox. That damage then transmitted through into the overdrive. So what Dan Howells Classics have done is they've removed the gearbox and overdrive, replaced the adapter plate with a new good quality one, and they've rebuilt the gearbox and the overdrive. Now just to recap as well, the gearbox and overdrive were rebuilt before we got the car professionally many years ago, so it's the only part of the build that we didn't strip down and rebuild. Obviously the engine, the suspension, all the bodywork has been done top to bottom, but those were the two bits that had been done professionally in the previous owner's ownership. So I know there was footage of us taking the sides off the gearbox and resealing little leaks, but we only did a visual on the box and also the overdrive because it was done previously. But like I say, that has now all been done professionally with receipts. So now every single aspect of the car has been completely gone through. So that's good. The car now changes gear nicely, the gearbox is good, the overdrive's been tested, and we have no leaks, which is great. Now then, the next thing was the brakes locking on. It was quite a simple fix in the end for Dan Howells Classics. The push rod on the brake master cylinder had a little casting defect in it and it had a little nipple on the end of it. That nipple caused the brakes, after a little bit of running time, to stick on. He removed it, stripped it down, reshaped the mushroom on the end of the push rod, put it back together. It's been perfect. Now then, the third thing, the fettling and refinement. Like I said, we said to Dan Howells Classics, go through the car with a fine tooth comb, and anything you can find and change, just do it. Now there's three reasons for this. The first is that we will get back a fettled car. So all of the little problems that you'd potentially find when you do your couple of hundred running miles, when you get the car back, they won't be there to be found. The second reason, we just love spending money. We love spending money. We sat down and looked at the receipts the other day and added them all up. It's scary. The amount of money that this car has cost it really is scary. And the third is you get a much more refined car, because obviously when this car is completely finished, it will be sold. So when the next person buys the car, they will get a much more refined vehicle, which is always a selling point. Now, I think we've covered most of it. It's now time to look at the car itself. Now, just bear in mind, these panel gaps are 95% complete. There are still going to be a few little tweaks, changes, and refinements along the way. So if you do see any little discrepancies, they will be rectified. But I can assure you, it looks extremely good. We are very, very, very happy with the work that's been done. And also, the bodywork has been done by Southwest Kustoms, which is just across the road from Dan Howells Classics. And, well, I'm talking too much and I'm not showing enough. Go and have a look. It's brilliant. Nice, isn't it? I did say it was good. They've done an absolutely incredible job. Now, just a few little bits. They've also painted the panels, but they've also hand finished them. You know the way that Rolls Royces are handcrafted and the paint is hand finished, so you get that beautiful flat glass finish, not like, for example, a new BMW orange peel. Ugh, disgusting. It's really, really nicely finished. But what comes next? The car has now gone back across the road to Dan Howells Classics, and they are going to fit all the lights, wire them up and test them, fit the trafficator and the horn and the hood frame for us. And then they're going to move on to a little bit of tuning. They're going to check the mixture and the setup of the carbs again, and they're also going to play around with the ignition timing to get the best out of it so that it's ready for its running miles. And then it's time for an interior. Now then, what we've done with the interior is we priced up a full interior. I mean everything. I mean tonneau, hood frame, door cards, seat covers, carpets, boot carpet, the lot. Every single piece of interior trim in a Healey 104 we priced up brand new. And it's not bad price really, because Healey 104s are stupidly expensive, are they not? It was not a bad price, but at the same time, am I right when I say that every single Healey 104 is different? Yes. Now if you've got every single car that's different and you've got a set interior off the shelf, there's a good chance it's not going to fit very well. Then there's nothing worse than investing this amount of money in bodywork and putting thousands and thousands of our, and it is thousands, of our own time into the mechanical and bodywork and restoration side of the build to have an interior that is not quite perfect. So what we did is we started shopping around for a trimming company, and we found a company local to us that deal every single day in high-end classics. They do E-types, they do Astons, they do Healeys, and they know their stuff. And we got a price from them for a complete interior from scratch. They're going to make their own patterns, so the door cards will fit perfectly. They're going to make their own hood, their own tonneau. They're going to make their own seat covers. Everything vinyl where it should be vinyl, leather where it should be leather, armorcord where it should be armorcord. It's going to be period correct, and I hope, in fact I can say with confidence that it will be perfect. And for the price, it was about 50% more than an off-the-shelf kit, which runs the risk of not fitting. And like I say, when you've gone to this amount of trouble, these many hours, and this level of expense, you don't really want an ill-fitting interior, because the two things that make the car, in my opinion, are the bodywork. You see the bodywork when you look up, when you walk up to the car, you see the bodywork and you say, wow, that looks fantastic. You open the door, you sit inside, you have a smell, and you go, wow, that smells gorgeous. But also the interior looks gorgeous. And that's what makes the car, in my honest opinion. Like I say, all the work that we've done is underneath the body, it's behind the scenes, it's what makes the car drive nicely and perform well. But it's those two aspects, which is where we've invested the money, that should make a very, very good car, we hope. So the next thing for the car, like I say, it's off to trim, and then the car will be 100% finished. So in our next video, which maybe 6 months, I don't know, with everything that's going on in the world, the car will be 100% finished, looking flawless, and then ready for some running test miles, ready to drive around the streets of the UK picking up loads of stone chips. Wow, I can't wait. See you soon.